going on, y'all? It's your man, Steve Bardo coming at you. Edition of Bardo's Breakdown. Hope you're doing well. Man, my internet is tripping today. I don't know my Wi-Fi. I don't know what the heck is going on. But let's hope we get through this show with no problems. Happy holidays. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. I know I did. Chance go back home and spend time with my family, so I'm very grateful for that. A lot of basketball this weekend. We're going to get into all of that, and that'll give you a clue of who probably had the best week. Maybe not in the Big Ten, but maybe in the country. So let's kick it off. Here's going to give folks a little bit of time to come in, but I think we're just go ahead and kick it off here. Let's start off with the tournaments that took place over the past weekend and the last week. And let's start off with Ohio State out in Maui. They finished 2-1. They had a good win against Texas Tech, lost to San Diego State in their first game out there. San Diego State, I believe, was number 17 in the country when they linked up last week. So no shame in that. Ohio State, still trying to figure out new roles on their team. Justice Suing going back home. He had an outstanding tournament. And they get a quality win versus Texas Tech in their last game. In the Emerald Classic, Iowa loses to TCU. And it was sizable. TCU beat them. I believe it was a let me see here. I believe it was a double-digit loss for them, Iowa, and a good tournament though. They had some good wins there. So yeah, they lost to TCU 76, and Iowa had really been scoreball. So TCU's defense really showed, but so that's there. Maryland had a really good tournament up in the Mohegans. I don't remember quite the name of it, but a really good tournament where they thumped St. Louis and thumped Miami. They beat St. Louis by 20. They beat Miami by 18. And those games close as the score indicates. So Maryland, really fantastic job. Playing extremely well, and they seem to gel quickly under Kevin's style of changing defenses. They've got a plethora of wings that they can be interchangeable with, and they're doing a fantastic. Julian Reese is really starting to play well. I believe he was Big Ten Player of the Week a couple weeks ago, maybe last week. I'm not sure. I think he is a Big Ten Player of the Week this week based on his performance. Now, Wisconsin team, man. Oh, I'm screaming at this. I'm at home with my family. Wisconsin, Kansas. Wisconsin 3, y'all, with under a minute. Kansas has a basketball. Wisconsin's up 3. I'm telling my dad, Wisconsin foul. Please foul. Send Kansas to the line for 2 free throws. You box out, you secure the defensive rebound, win the game. It doesn't foul. Kansas comes down, shoots a shot, long rebound. Kevin McCullough hits a 3. They go overtime. Kansas beats Wisconsin. I don't understand why coaches don't foul up. I don't understand that. And I don't. Gard's not the only one. Greg Gard, the Wisconsin, he's not the only coach that doesn't do that. Most times I see college programs, they won't foul up 3. It makes no sense to me. Why consider that? Is it a macho thing? Is it like, oh no, we're a great defensive team on lockdown? No, he's a college player. What could go wrong in a college game generally goes wrong. Would you all disagree with that? What could go wrong in a college basketball game generally goes wrong. That's why college basketball is so exciting, because you don't know what these kids are going to do down the stretch. Yes, they get instruction from their coach. Yes, they understand what they're supposed to do, but pressure bust pipes. And in that scenario, Wisconsin did not foul while they were up 3. and they end up losing in overtime. I don't think that'll come back and haunt them at all because I think they're a tournament team. But it really hurts the Big Ten Conference when you have an opportunity to get a quality victory like that and you don't do it. So, kudos to Kansas. They hung in there. They made the plays. They got the offensive rebound. Because of 3, they go to overtime, and they take care of overtime. But Wisconsin did get quality wins over Dayton and USC. Quality wins. Now, the big boy of them all, Phil National and the Phil Knight Legacy, 2 separate tournaments. There were real tournaments in Portland around all the top Nike programs in the country, men's and women's program. Fabulous event. So on Purdue's side, thus the shirt, they get to rock the shirt for this episode this week because they the whole thing. And ladies and gentlemen, they had wins over West Virginia, Gonzaga, and Duke. And when I say they had wins, they're all double-digit victories. They're not close. Gonzaga in the first half, at the beginning of the second half, it was close, and then Purdue put the throttle on them. And then in the Duke game, Purdue went up in the first half, midway through the half, and they never relinquished the lead, and they kept leading the lead. Purdue was outstanding. Here's the thing. Davis and David Jenkins, who is a double-digit scorer, all-conference performer before he got to Purdue, he can't even get a bench because Braden Smith and Fletcher Loyer balling. He's a freshman. Now David's time will come because they'll match us where he'll be more favorable than Smith. But I don't know, guys. And Zach Edey was outstanding. Caleb First was outstanding. Trey Kaufman, Wren came out, gave great minutes. Gillis was outstanding. Purdue is locked in, ladies and gentlemen. They like the best team in the Big Ten right now. They've got the most impressive. Well, you got victories over Kentucky and Villanova. That Villanova victory doesn't look as good for Michigan State now. So I would have to give Purdue's wins over West Virginia, Gonzaga, and Duke. Those are the most impressive wins in the Big Ten thus far. So kudos to Purdue for winning I think they were on the invitational side and Michigan State was on the legacy side. So Michigan State on the legacy side, they lose their opening round game to Alabama. They lose Malik Hall to a stress reaction for 3 weeks. They lose Jayden Akins, who has an ankle injury and he's day-to-day. And yet they got quality wins over Portland and Oregon. Don't look at me crazy when I say a quality win over Portland, because that's an NCAA tournament team. That's a very good team. They pushed North Carolina, and I can't remember if they played, but they pushed them to the limit. Not Oregon. Can't remember who Portland pushed, but they all three of their games they pushed the limit. And so Portland and Oregon quality wins for Michigan State of their all first 10 performer Malik Hall and Jayden Akins. So Michigan State still very impressive in spite of their losses. So that takes me to our power rankings. But before I do that, Robin says she's going to shorten the link. Screenshot this so you can get the link. I know the link, but check this tumbler out, man. You got Bardo's breakdown logo right there. You got the Flyin Illini right there. You got the steel, however it goes in. If it goes in cold, it's cold. If it goes in hot, it stays hot. Great tumbler. And I put my iced tea in here along with my water here. But check it out, man. If you get a chance, seriously, it's a great holiday gift. any Illini fan or just any Big Ten fan, Bardo's Breakdown fan would love one of these. So check that out. Now, on to the power rankings. Here are my power rankings, and so it's a little bit certain teams opportunities to play quality opponents and other teams are off. So Purdue number 1 based on their winning the PK Invitational Tournament with those outstanding victories over West Virginia and Gonzaga, and the way that they won them. They won all the games by figures. They're really people. Number 2 State, Michigan State with the victory for Villanova. I said which is not, but Villanova will get better. Kentucky is Kentucky. They were 10 when they played. So and then they got quality wins over Oregon and also Portland out there as well. So Michigan State comes in number 2. Indiana comes in at number 3. Victory at Xavier still to me is one of the better victories in the Big Ten thus far. Hold on, Wi-Fi. Man, going on. Number 4, Illinois, their neutral game victory over UCLA, and their narrow loss to the number 3 Virginia Cavaliers. Now they're number 3 AP top 25, and then Maryland coming in at undefeated at number 5, based on them still being undefeated, but also the very good wins over St. Louis and Miami. Very, very good wins. They pounded those teams. And so let's go to the games of this week to look out for. Let's take a look. I know it's a little jumbled, but I'll work through it with you. Virginia at Michigan tomorrow. It doesn't look good for the Wolverines. They're still trying to figure themselves out. They're playing against one of the oldest teams in college basketball. Virginia has 5 fifth-year seniors, 2 regular seniors, and a bunch of dudes that can score the rock, including Armand Franklin. You guys may remember that name. That name was at Indiana, transferred to Virginia, one of their leading scorers. But Virginia is deep. They're big. They're physical. And Kahee Clark, remember, guys, his national championship team. He's the point guard of the. Carolina, Duke is improving. They'll get better and better as the season goes on. I still think Virginia's the top team in the ACC. Michigan hosting them is the only positive that matchup right now, because Michigan is really struggling to find out who they are. They've got inconsistencies with their backcourt, and Virginia will expose a lot of inconsistencies. So that could be an ugly game for Michigan. Ohio at Duke. I think Duke's victory. Well, them playing in the Maui Invitational, 3 quality games. They lost to a very good San Diego State team, but they come back and beat a Tech team. I think that experience in this game at Duke is going to be a lot better, ladies and gentlemen. Jeremy Roach is that dude, and Kyle Filipowski, man, they're talking about Derek Lively and Datehead. Shoot, Kyle Filipowski. Right now, he's a top 10 player in the country. He's a freshman from Duke. That dude's got game. It's going to be a great matchup for Ohio State. Duke. That will be on Wednesday in the ACC. Majority of these games, what's 3 anyway, are Big Ten ACC Challenge games. Then the last one that I'm putting up here, Illinois, Syracuse goes to Illinois. There's some decent ones on the schedule. I don't think Syracuse is as good this season, and I think the bulletin board material from Jim Boeheim be just what the doctor ordered to get the Illini for that vaulted Syracuse zone. A fabulous matchup tomorrow. Pain. So the matchup, in my opinion, of the ACC Big Ten is North Carolina on Wednesday. That's going to be a great test for the front line of Indiana, which I believe has one of the best front lines in all of college basketball. But so does North Carolina with Armando Bacot. You got Pete Nance, the transfer from Northwestern. He had a career high 28 points in one of their victories out in the PK Legacy tournament. So that's going to be a great matchup for Indiana versus North Carolina on Wednesday. That is the marquee matchup of the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Illinois kicks off. Woo, this is tough. Illinois goes to Maryland December 2nd to kick off their Big Ten slate. And you know what? You got to play great teams in the Big Ten. And Illinois starts off their Big Ten slate with a rough one because Maryland is good. And there's changing defenses. They have increased depth. Ian Martinez is coming on, ladies and gentlemen, off the bench. A really good wing player, so he's providing a lot of depth. This Maryland team is for real. So this is going to be a really good game overall in the Big Ten, but a great challenge for Illinois and their freshmen because this will be their first true road game in a hostile environment. Then Wisconsin at Marquette on Saturday. Yours truly will be calling that FS1. This is always a fantasy game. I don't care what the ratings are. I don't care what. It always is a nail biter. Always. And it's bragging rights in the state of Wisconsin. Wisconsin coming off a very – they didn't win it, but they had some quality wins against Dayton and USC. Narrow overtime loss to Kansas down in the Atlantis tournament in the Bahamas. So this will be a very good team. Marquette is if you guys know Shaka Smart, to change the defenses. You know, he go full court. He likes to run and jump. He likes half. They can start out in the zone and go man. A lot of changing defenses, and they will definitely try to speed the Wisconsin Badgers up. So yours truly will be on that call. FS1 Saturday afternoon. And the last matchup, Michigan versus Kentucky in London. Another tremendous Michigan. Not they may be over, but they're going to learn a lot about themselves going against Virginia at home and then Kentucky in London in a neutral site game. Michigan has struggled. Jalen Llewellyn, the transfer guard, is struggling to find his way. Kobe Buffkin has been inconsistent in his new role as a starting two. And look, Brad, I said it last week on the show. Transferring is hard. It's very difficult to transfer and to come right in and ball. Don't look at Shannon, Illinois as the norm. That's exception. It's very difficult to come in to a new situation, especially with a program like Michigan in the Big Ten, high expectations. And so there's a little bit of pressure on those guys coming in right now. So I also wanted to mention that this season, this go-around of the SEC Big Ten challenge is it. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. With the new media rights deal, expected the Big Ten, Big 12 to have a new series based on those two being the same platforms with Fox. So expect to see Fox pick up a Big Ten, Big 12 challenge forward. And listen, the ACC, great tradition. They have great basketball, one of the best basketball conferences in the country. But if you were to look over the last 10 years, the best basketball conference in the United States is the Big 12 Conference, followed closely by the Big Ten, ACC, SEC, and Big East. But the Big 12 has been the premier conference for college basketball in the country. So it would be weird to not see the ACC Big Ten challenge again, but the Big 12 and the Big Ten will lock horns in a new series. And the ACC and SEC will start a new series based on them being on both still on ESPN. So it's a little sad to see that go, but that's what we have. All right. Tarun Reddy, happy holidays to you as well, my man. Thanks for jumping on. Does this year's a lot have more depth than last year's squad? I believe so. Tarun, I think last year's squad had some depth, but because last year's, if you guys remember, DeMonte Williams a lot would be guarding four power forwards for opposing teams. So they were last year's squad. Their main guys were a little. Not this year. Illinois has a lot of depth, a lot of size, and a tremendous amount of. I don't understand it either. When you foul a player on the line, too many things have to happen. Have to free throw, get the board. Carol's referred to why teams don't foul up 3-point. Kansas had one possession left. I agree, Carol. Good to see you on here. Thanks for joining. Kevin Tyson Walker is a bad boy. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And he's playing. I love to see him playing with the ultimate level that he played with it at Northeastern. Last year, he transferred to Michigan State. It took a while to find his sea legs, but now balling. That young Braden Smith and Fletcher Loyer is going to be a problem. Y'all are, Kevin. I agree. I mean, they were on the floor in the games. All 3 games, the invitational tournament, they were on the floor of the game. And Braden Smith's numbers are pretty impressive. I think Chris Foreman, sports information director, one of the best in the country, had a stat, Braden's 3-game stretch, and it was incredible in terms of the points, rebounds, assists, and the lack of turnovers. Really impressive. And Fletcher Loyer, I mean, right now he looks like the best shooter in the Big Ten. I know Copp's got to be in that conversation. Who else is in the nation? Connor Essegian Johnson. I mean, I don't know if there's many better shoot than those guys right there. They are letting it go. I will admit I underestimate Purdue after watching the first 5 minutes of the game. Turns out I was wrong on Purdue, and man, those boys hustle. Yeah, you know what, Carol? They're locked in defensively. They've all accepted their roles. They're really locked in, and defensively, I've not seen a team this disconnected this early yet. To me, they're the most connected defensive team I've seen. Let's see. Oh, I need one of those tumblers. Okay, I got you. I'll put the link up before we finish, Carol. Pack line defense. What's up, Kenny Williams? Good to see. Oh, I love the I love the avatar. A young baller, Kenny Williams. Good to see you, bro. Thanks for jumping in. Yeah, that pack line defense is real deal. Kristen Bissell, Trowbridge. See, Philip Kowski, everybody's going to struggle against Edie Christine because he's a monster. He's 7'2", 290. 7'3", 290. He's the Kofi Coburn with 3 more, and he's still growing to his mom. So he could be 7'5" before he leaves. Philip Kowski, he's 6'10", 6'11". He's a wing. He's more Dirk Nowitzki, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis-like than he is a post-up guy, a defensive post-up guy. So everybody's struggling against Edie right now. Edie's at 21 points and 9.7 rebounds. Everyone's struggling against him. Okay, Carol has some here for Brad Underwood. Tomorrow against Syracuse zone would put Hawkins the free throw line. He will be able to see over the zone with his height. Hawk needs to stop passing up. I agree with you about passing up the open shots. I think he's being a little bit too unselfish. I think it hurts his team a little bit, Carol. I'd like to see him be aggressive in that scenario. The shorters along this line from the 12 to 17 range is the soft spot of the Syracuse zone. Pittsburgh under Jamie, he was coaching at Pitt. They used to cut up. He had one of the best records against Syracuse in the ACC because he knew how to bring the ball to the wing, flood that side, flood ball side. Carol says, hit the elbow, hit the front. And once you catch the opposite baseline and with the ball to the opposite baseline, you could get jumpers. Then you get the ball and going to the hole. Defense collapses if your big rotates with you, shovel pass for a dunk. You can cut that zone up, but Carol's right. Hawkins is going to have to be integral in attacking it with his size, his ability to make plays. Well done, Carol. All right. You mean like how Purdue handled Marquette? Doesn't that make Purdue best front line, Edie and first? Well, yeah. I mean, they're the best front line right now. But we'll see what happens when they play Illinois or Indiana, and they go heads up with Race and Trace and Malik Renew. We'll see what they look like when they go up against Illinois with Danger, Meyer, Hawkins. We got to see what that looks like. Marquette doesn't have a big front line, so they had to really throw a lot of looks at them, full court pressure. And if you remember, Marquette was up 9 in the second half, and then Braden Smith took over. I believe he had 20 in the second half, but I will see. But Edey in first and Kaufman Wren, they look, and Ethan Morton. I keep forgetting to mention Ethan Morton. He's done an outstanding job. He was on all-tournament team and really didn't score that much. But he rebounded, fended his tail off. Oh, man, did a heck of a job. Will NC have a hangover at the 4 overtime loss against Alabama? What's up with Duke? A.J. Hogarth has to be annoying, frustrating players. Tom Izzo, he's been focused on getting calls about teammates. Let me hit this. North Carolina have a hangover because they had 3 games out in Portland. Okay? 4 overtime loss to Alabama. That will take your legs out. So there's a situation with that. Duke is young. So Derek Lively was the number one recruit in the country. He had an injury so he's still trying to find his way, and he's a stick. He's got to get in the weight room and get stronger. Eric Whitehead has been hurt. He came back for the second game, plays 19 minutes. He will be fine. When these guys get healthy and they get some more experience, they're going to be tough to deal with because those freshmen are talented. They experience and they're a little light in the britches. Philip Cowles is not light in the britches. He's balling. So Duke is going to be fine up top of the ACC. I don't know if they'll win it with experience, but when these young bucks get some experience, it's tough. A.J. Hogarth, I didn't focus Michigan State as much in the PK tournament because there was some other Big Ten teams that playing at the time that they were playing. They played it like really late times, so I didn't get a chance to see them as much. But A.J. Hogarth, I think, is really developed into a quality guard that Tom Izzo does. Does he complain to the officials? Do he maybe get mad at his teammates? Yeah, but that's better. Ison complain about teammates, complain about officials because I want to point blank. I don't think AJ Hogarth. But thank you for that. Yeah, it has been incredible, Carol. And the Big Ten's been kicking the ACC's behind lately, so I'm really upset that it's leaving now. Did Michigan put a beat down on Ohio State? No one's seen that come. Wrong sport. What's up, Lefty boy? Good to see you, brother. Hope well. Keep doing your thing with the youth out there. You helping Marcus Liberty out, man. That's putting Marcus's stuff on your platform. Me and Kendall reposted what you put out. So appreciate you doing that. Keep up the great work, my man. What do I think about Dane starting? This year's Illini version. Good to see you, Thomas Dagley, my man. It doesn't matter who starts with Illinois. It might bruise some egos. It might hurt some guys. Some guys they have a better ability to come off the bench, and some guys start better. We'll see. I don't know, but Dane has certainly earned it, Thomas. He's earned the right to start. The way he's playing, the way he's gotten his body right for what's going on. I like how Big Ten teams are playing against non-conference teams. Robert Glenn Blackwell. Congratulations to Robert Blackwell, my former teammate, my Fighting Illini teammate, my brother from other. Love him dearly. Congratulations to Glenn because his son signed with Wisconsin. His son is going to be a Badger, and I have not seen him play in person yet. I know anything about the Blackwell family. This is going to play hard. He'll be able to score the rock. He'll be fundamentally sound. So Black, congratulations, bro. Big in your family. That's big, bro. That's big to get it to have your son in the Big Ten Conference. So I look forward to covering him, creator willing. So congratulations once again. Okay, Christine Bissell, Trowbridge. Edie is 7. Okay, so that's even more impressive. 7'4" and the same weight as Kofi Burn. Catch that. Edie keeps developing. He will be unstoppable. Yeah, but I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, if Edie has a spot in the NBA. I think he can kill it overseas, but I don't know if he can play. We'll see. Think about this. Porzingis 7'4", and go watch how fast and Porzingis moves, and see if Zach Edey fill those shoes. Now, you mentioned it. Whoever this is, great point. His development has outstanding to watch, and the sky's the limit. Sky's the limit for Zach Edey working, and that Purdue staff, in particular, Brandon Brantley, the assistant for Purdue, former Purdue player, does an outstanding job developing bigs. And their player development program at Purdue is one of the best in the country. Brandon Brantley. Put Jayden Epps on the free throw line on the offensive end, better ball handler. Hawkins can find his spot on the 3 and let it ride. I kind of like what Carol Paul Paquette was saying. I like Hawkins in the middle of that zone with that size. Jayden Epps, I don't know if you want to put a freshman in the teeth of a Syracuse zone, because nobody's seen anything. Unless you've played Syracuse, you can't replicate in practice. You can watch all the film you want to. You can't replicate that length. Syracuse always has great length on their zone. And so putting Jayden Epps in that scenario, maybe a few times, but I wouldn't have that as my primary point of attack, because you need size inside the teeth of the Syracuse zone, because if you don't get paint touches and you sit here and throw the ball around the perimeter and hope to get a 3-point shot, you play right into Syracuse. You've got to get into the paint. You got to collapse the zone. You got to look opposite. You got to have good ball movement. And I don't know if Jayden Epps can handle that pressure. Now, he's been very impressive. He looks calm and cool under pressure. He and Sky Clark. But this is a different animal. So we'll see. But that's an interesting take. Thank you for that. Jamie Dawson McDowell. I don't know if I've seen you on here. What do you Big Ten's next move is after the last? Jamie, I think the Big Ten will go. They'll have a Big Ten, Big 12 challenge, because the ACC is going to match up with the SEC. So the SEC and Big East situation ending. So now that's ending this season. So the ACC will link up with the SEC, the Big 12. And I don't think Big East is going to link up with. Maybe they should try 12. Who knows? But that's where I think it's going to go. Kathy Sloan Wood. What's best team I've seen in 10 years? Kathy, come on now. Come on. Are you serious? Now, I don't want to necessarily go against Kathy, because y'all recognize that name, right? Sloan, legendary Coach Sloan from Utah. Believe possibly a Hall of Fame guard for the Chicago Bulls from McLeansboro, Illinois. And Kathy's brother played at Indiana, so Kathy knows a thing or two about basketball. Best team I've seen in 10 years. That's a statement, Kathy. We'll see. I mean, I can go that far, but they look pretty good this weekend. So that's a strong statement. Thanks for joining. Good to see you. Hope your family's doing well. Please, Ryan, I ask about him, please. Dory Melman Pezzerio. What's up, Dory? They are. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. This year's crop of freshmen, they've got to be the best in 4 or 5 years. What's his name? Brandon Miller from Bama. Ooh wee. He's a Brandon Miller from Alabama. Black. This guard black. I can't remember his Arkansas. Philip Kowski from Duke. Braden Smith and Fletcher Loyer, Braden Epps or Jayden Epps, Clark from Illinois, Connor Essegian from Wisconsin. Oh, I'm missing some nationally. but there are some really, really talented freshmen around the country this season. Very exciting to see. I'm glad these guys didn't go to the G League Ignite or to overtime or didn't go overseas. They came to college basketball, and it's outstanding. The talent in this freshman class. So, Dory, I really, really agree with you. What's up, Captain? Good to see you, man. Ooh, Carol. Caleb Love of North Carolina took 36 shots. He made 13. I can't see how a player can get 36 shots even in a 4 overtime game. Seems like when it comes down to the last shot, he dribbles the clock down, then takes a step back three. I would be very frustrated if I was his teammate. He only had 4 assists. This is old now because we aren't talking about Carolina. It's a good point because Caleb Love has the neon green light, Carol. And what, if you remember that run that North Carolina was on last year, he was unconscious. And so they put the ball in his hand down the stretch Final Four run, and he came up big. So he comes back to school. You're not going to lady that got you to the dance, right? Caleb Love, I saw that he took all those shots. And that's just plays. I doubt that he'll get 36 Indiana because Armada's going to have to put some pressure on the Indiana interior if North Carolina's going to have a chance to win that game. That place is rocking, ladies and gentlemen. The Simon Scott Assembly Hall in Indiana, baby. Woo, that's gonna be something to see. I say Epps Curbelo had 23 points against the Orange and was middle of the 2-3 zone. Curbelo animal. Alo had what's the word? What's the phrase I'm looking for? It's a kind of confidence that's irrational. Irrational kind, maybe. Like he or Curbelo is a different dude, right? So I don't know. It might work. Oh, team ball, not team. Bad, Kathy. I read that wrong. Who is playing some of the best team ball? They're sharing. They are really in sync with basketball. Defensively, man, they on a stream. It's impressive to watch. So yes, I got you, Kathy. Thanks for that clarification. Yep. I don't know if his son's a lefty or not. And Glenn's 6'4", 6'5". His son is I think 6'4". I should have more information. I'll get more information about that moving forward. Is it to free the line, distribute the rock, or shoot the open? How would she guard Edey? How's anybody guarding Edey? Shit, excuse me. Shoot, with a 2x4 and some ducks, some food poisoning and pregame about it, because Edey's rolling, y'all. You know what I mean? He's rolling. Jamie says, looking ahead, tougher game for the Illini. Yes. We're going to get to that because I've got games that are coming up. Tougher game for the Illini at Maryland or Texas in the Garden. I'd say at Maryland. Anytime you go on the road in the Big Ten, if you're in a neutral court setting, the Illini Nation show up and show out. And this year, if you saw the Illini fan support in Las Vegas, the players were very surprised at how many fans showed up in Las Vegas. The Illini alumni base in New York area is large and active. So there'll be a number of Illini fans at that Maryland game. You'll be able to hear Illini fans cheering. So I think it will be a tougher game at Maryland based on the way that they're playing. I know Texas mud stomped Gonzaga about a week and a half ago before Gonzaga went to the PK tournament. But on the road in the Big Ten is always tougher than being in a court setting. That's a great question, though. Thank you for that. He missed the end of the game against Kansas. I was a little bitter because my mom could finish first place 40. I love it. Okay. Well, I mean, let me go back and let me put this up for Carol. Carol, screenshot this real quick. this tumbler. The thing is sweet. Go get it. I think it's $20 or something like that. It's not expensive, but it's really good. So make sure you go check that out. You guys, I think I answered all the questions. I just want to get through it really quickly. Right now, I believe, I think Northwestern. No. Right now, Minnesota is playing Virginia Tech. That's a tough ask for Minnesota. Virginia Tech, very good team. And on the road in Virginia, very tough matchup. And then later on, Pittsburgh at Northwestern. That could be a game. Northwestern continues a pretty surprising stuff for them. So make sure you guys check them out, and root for the Big Ten teams to win this last AC Big Ten challenge. That do breakdown. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate the support. I'll have tips moving forward this week. And if you have any questions, come back to this, post your question. I'll come back and answer it, and we'll go from there. But have a great week. Enjoy this last SEC Big Ten Challenge, and I will see you guys later on. It's time, y'all. Holla!